with position number 2, which is exactly where he was running when the incident started. Steve Karosik gets the raw end of the deal, but actually only goes back to about 8th position. So interesting scenario there. As the teammates get away pretty much unscathed. We go under a pretty quick trigger caution, but like we saw 2 weeks ago, it ends up probably benefiting the entire field.
All right, so yellow flag out, everyone on the pit road. Couple trucks with some heavy damage. Dude Conrad, one of those. See if fast repairs have to be burned. One fast repair available to the drivers here tonight. Sebastian Marin winning the race off of pit road. Gabe Butler second. Cody Nagels, Logan Helton, Vicente Guerrero, your top 5 as they make their way off of pit road.
Yeah, very interesting top 5. You got Marin, who's got a win. He's locked in. Butler, we talked about, is in on points as of tonight. Obviously, by virtue of starting this race, he's going to gain some more points, especially if he ends up running where he's at right now. Cody Nagels locked in on points. Logan Helton is a 2-time winner this season. Then you get to a guy, Vicente Guerrero, that is, I believe, in on points. I have not actually seen the points myself. I need to go back and look, but he's awfully close to being in a pretty good spot on points. But boy, what a win do for him tonight. And you have Josh Ball. I don't think he's going to be eligible for the postseason, but he could shake some things up. Anthony English could shake the points up if he wins tonight. John Guerra, same thing. Jeff Crosby Jr., he's been close, seems like every single week that I've been up here, and has yet to win. And Les Levy, he's been close a couple times. It's just so interesting. You're going to have to see how desperate do these guys a little further back get. Now that they're in a position that some of them have to start thinking about maybe staying out, doing the strategy a little bit differently tonight.
All right, Dawson. I have a interesting comment coming in from one of our viewers. So, are you by chance happening to watch the broadcast on YouTube?
Yeah, and I think I've read your mind. I think I know what your comment's going to be. If you're talking about the fact that it was not showing as live, yeah, I had that issue, but when I refreshed, it came back for me. So, I think we're all good now.
Interesting. Yeah. All right. So everything is working. Everyone good?
Hey, I've got it for me. We may need the chat to chime in and make sure they've all got it, but it is working on my end now. So
wow.
I think we're all good.
Yeah, everything was showing working on my side, but still on the waiting screen for Steve Hoppett. Now, first of all, let's be fair. Hoppett is upside down to begin with, so he's from Australia. Miss Mara is here. How you doing, Miss Mara? Alan chiming in. Good evening, Alan. Good to see you. Steve Hoppett is here. I know I poked a little bit of fun at him. He is normally out here with us in racing, but tonight sounds like he has a leg injury. So Steve, I hope that heals up. Hope that gets better. Kind of want you out here, bud. But I'll tell you what, if you really want to, Steve, invitation to come up here into the broadcast booth. All you gotta do is load up iRacing as a spectator and join me and Dawson up here in the booth. We'd love to have you, bud. We got Steve, we got Jeremy. Jeremy, I'm sorry I didn't say hi to Jeremy. Jeremy Medlock chiming in as well. So there we go. We got Alan, Jeremy, Steve, and Tammy wanting to know if we were here. That was before we went live. How you doing, Tammy? All right, either way, Dawson, lights are out on the pace truck.
Yeah, they are. Field's going to be in the hands of Sebastian Marin. I'm sure you guys saw the little whatever was going on there with the scoring with Gabe Butler. I'm not sure if he was falling asleep at the wheel, but nonetheless, he's on the inside of row number 1 now. Green flag is back in the air, so we're going to put lap number 14 of 100 on the board. 12 laps to go in stage 1. These guys just made a pit stop, so everybody's good to make it at least to the stage break. As a little shuffle back there around Jim Mayer, Peter DeBorgia, as they got fanned out on the start. Not sure what happened there, but nonetheless, door to door, Going to be a drag race down the backstretch. Marin and Butler with Helton and Nagels in pursuit pushing.
Gabe Butler in the 88 down on that yellow line. He has the 6 of Cody Nagels on his back bumper. And Nagels was the one who was sideways that really started the chain of events that brought out the caution flag, but he got it sorted and really got the luck of the draw as that caution came out. He was pointed in the right direction and maintaining speed, so he got scored back towards the front. However, there were a few guys that had some damage, and now they are looking to try and salvage the best that they can. Dave Booth, Dave Hunt, Dude Conrad, they're towards the back here. There were some of our drivers that took a hard hit in that first caution. But this stage is going to end at the completion of lap 25, so they have about 10 laps to work their way back forward. So Dawson, with that being said, 10 laps, long time here at Daytona.
Oh, absolutely, especially because pit stops are not going to matter. You're just going to be fighting for stage points now. Obviously, we're not going to break unless we get a caution inside of 5 laps before that stage break that we have planned at the conclusion of lap 25. But, a pit stop is not going to affect you until probably 5 laps after the stage break, unless, and this is where it really starts to get interesting, maybe guys at the back want to short pit this because they know they're not going to get stage points. Come in and maybe get their service done instead of staying out risking a wreck and maybe flipping the track position. We get a caution, and I think the guy we're on board with right now, Richard Kuhn, he definitely would be one of the guys I'd watch to come down and flip that track position a little bit later on in the race. Not running in a stage point position right now, it's going to be awfully hard for him to get into one, so watch out for him to perhaps make something happen. Oh, another moment at the front of the field. Gabe Butler, how did he keep that one straight?
Oh, it's not done yet.
No, it's not. We're going to fan out in the tri-oval. Everybody keeps it going somehow, some way.
Green flag stays out. Vicente Guerrero in the 14 turned into a lawnmower. And the yellow flag is going to come out. We do have one around. And once again, that is the 08 of Dude Conrad. And so Dude Conrad having 2 tough moments in this race very early on. Let's see what happened to the driver of the 08 as he smacks the outside wall. Now we can back that up just a little bit more and see where it went south. He was already going to the wall there. Try and take another look. 66 smacks the wall, and it looks like the 08 checks up, and the truck that was pushing on his back bumper did not get the memo.
Yeah, just kind of one of those deals with a chain reaction at the front of the field, and it all started with Gabe Butler and Logan Helton. They got disconnected and kind of got off center. We see this a lot in the trucks, and we've seen it a lot this season, and it was a bad push from Logan Helton that sent Butler almost around. I thought he was going to go around a few different times, and unfortunately makes its way to the back, and the chain reaction picks up Dude Conrad. Just kind of an innocent bystander, and man, that's a really tough start to his night.
Last time these guys were on pit road was lap 11, so I expect to see everyone stay out unless they have to come down pit road to work on some damage. No one wants to give up track position because they do have enough fuel to make it, but you can see they're already dropping down onto the inside line. They're going to try and save as much fuel as they can. And, well, no. Maybe a few are coming down pit road. Here comes Sebastian Marin onto pit road.
Looks like Logan Helton further back. He opts to come to pit road. Jim Mayer opts to come to pit road. And then the guys who I said we're going to probably flip the track position. Les Levy, Kacey Gilchrist, Sean Stevens, Kevin Freeze, Zach Fritsch, Jeff Crosby Sr. A lot of these guys running further back also opt to come to pit road. Interesting to see Marin and Helton dive off, though. They were in position for stage points.
All right, stage points will be handed out. at the completion of lap 25. Keep in mind, we will not throw a yellow for that. But the trend kind of is we have a caution flag at that time anyways. I think there's only been one instance since they implemented this rule where there was not a yellow at the stage. Someone would have to check my math. But yeah, Jeremy Medlock, YouTube is having server issues tonight. That's worrisome. I hope you guys are able to watch still. If you guys are not watching, or if you are here, first of all, if you're here, sound off. That's all you have to do. Let me know that you're here. I see Miss Mara chimed in. How you doing, ma'am? We got Alan Fritch, we got Jeremy, we got Steve, we have Tammy. Guys, if you're here, chime in. Cheer for your driver often, loudly, annoyingly. I don't care. Just don't be rude is all I ask. I mean, because first of all, I'm here to be rude. Okay? If you make me mad, then you're being too rude. And you don't want to do that. Dawson, you don't want to do that, do you?
No, I don't think I do.
Okay. All right, so Alan Fritch is cheering for the driver of the 12. I'm cheering for the driver of the pace truck. I mean, that's a beautiful truck. That's about the 2015, 2014 Chevy Silverado. And those were good looking trucks. Then whatever these 2020s and newer trucks, these don't buy a GM product. Let GM know that these are horrendously horrible looking trucks. You want the square bodies, you want the 2014s to 2018, 2019. Those are the ones you like. Don't buy the newer ones. Tell GM they have horrible design philosophy. I feel like nobody's picking up when I'm laying down, Dawson.
I think they are. I don't think I need to say anything. That speaks for itself.
All right, lights are out on that beautiful Silverado. The 88, the 1, the 33, the 6, they don't have any lights. They do have stickers that look like lights, but they don't have any lights. So here we go once again. Jeremy, glad to see you, man. Do hope that you stick around for a while. Maybe one of these days, Jeremy, we'll get you up in here and talk about Josh. Jeremy, we'll get some stories from you about Josh. So just be ready for that one of these days. Either way, Dawson, green flag about ready to come out.
Yep, field shuffled a little bit, not a lot. Gabe Butler's going to maintain the race lead. Pace truck to pit road. Into the restart zone they come. Green flag. 5 laps to go in stage number 1. If there's a caution from now until lap 25, we're going to call the stage right there. And Butler got a massive jump, maybe too much of a jump, as the outside is locked and loaded. Here they come. Josh Ball, Cody Nagels, Peter DeBorgia, David Overstreet, Vicente Guerrero, all pretty much locked together. Nagels pushing hard to the back of the 1. Going to be another drag race down the back straightaway. Here comes Josh Ball, the race lead, as Guerrero looks 3 wide for the back.
One of the first times we see a legitimate charge of 3 wide, and they are making it work in that 3rd lane up against the wall. They have just a few more laps to settle it out. Oh my goodness, here they come.
DeBorgia jumps up in front of Guerrero. That's going to leave 5 trucks in the outside line. Guerrero now lead pusher. Crosby to the middle in front of Josh Ball. Crosby leads that lap. 4 laps to go in stage number 1. Oh, they're pushing hard. Josh Ball getting the 33 all kinds of out of shape. DeBorgia pokes the nose out front just briefly. Here comes Butler back to the bottom, though, with help from Anthony English.
3 wide racing at the front of the field. 5, 6 trucks in that third lane. They're trying to make something happen. And sooner or later, oh my goodness, the 40 with a big wiggle right there in the middle of the backstretch.
He's getting big time help from Guerrero. Now the line starts to fade just a little bit. Zach Workman was the third in line in the outside line, but now it is fading big time back to 2 wide as everybody bails to the middle. That's going to leave DeBorgia and Guerrero, the big losers out of that. Meanwhile, up front, 3 laps to go in stage number 1. Here come the Dale Cup boys to the outside. Nagels and Marin. They're going to get a little bit of help, hopefully from Peter DeBorgia, at least hopefully for them. As DeBorgia tries to get back up to him, they're going to need a couple more trucks. Here comes Zach Workman. We're going to be 3 wide for the lead, I do believe. Once again, up front, though, all Crosby and Butler. Here comes Cody Nagels.
They're still hanging tough 3 wide because they know that this stage is going to end at the completion of lap 25. Whether the yellow flag comes out or not, that remains to be seen. They are mixing it up right now. They are all doing what they can to try and make sure that they get the best finish in the stage. Contact between the middle and outside lanes.
Yeah, it's going to allow Cody Nagels to clear across Jeff Crosby Jr. He leads the race now here inside 2 laps to go in stage number 1. Big push from Sebastian Marin to get him there. Big credit to him. Freeze abandons the middle. He goes to the top. Oh, Crosby all over the back of Nagels. How did Cody Nagels keep that truck straight? We keep going, and now Marin going to have to push his teammate once again. Middle line, no help really as they all had to get out of it. Allows Gabe Butler right back into this battle. And Crosby to lead the race once again. Nagels has to get up and go once again, just like he did a lap ago. He got all the way to the front. Now he has to do it all again.
Gabe Butler in the 88, finding himself down on the yellow line. Sometimes that's the safest place to be because everyone, when they start crashing, washes up the racetrack. However, they drop down in front of you and do a Connolly clear from time to time. Jeff Crosby Jr. in the 33 out in front now. Cody Nagels in the 6, the 23 of Sebastian Marin. Those are your top 3 line leaders as here they come. Final time around for this stage. We will stay green unless we have to throw the yellow, but here we go. The 6 of Cody Nagels has a good run at the moment. Can he hold on to it and pick up the stage win? Josh Ball, big wiggle, a lot of wiggle. Oh, into the wall they go, and the yellow flag is going to come out, but not before the 6 of Cody Nagels crosses the start-finish line.
Expert run there by Cody Nagels. It shows you why he's one of the best in the business, certainly one of the best on Monday nights. That's how he gets all those extra points that have locked him into the postseason, and that is 10 more. That is a huge stage win for Cody Nagels. He'd been waiting on something like that, and he gets it right there. Just a almost perfect run to the front by he and his teammate Sebastian Marin, as well as Zach Workman. Obviously, Marin and Workman get caught up in that wreck, but nonetheless, both and Cody Nagels just expertly getting to the front. Just shows why they're as good as they are.
All right, so yellow flag is out once again. And let's back this up and see what happened to bring out the yellow flag, because this one took a while really to develop. Coming off of turn 4, everyone kind of started to scatter. Sebastian Marin in the 23 involved. And then behind them, it's just a huge stack up. Peter DeBorgia in the 40, getting a piece of it. Take a look as they come off of the corner. You can just see that big wiggle there. All right, Dawson, that caution flag came out after the 6 of Cody Nagels had crossed the start finish line. So, well, I expect everyone on the pit road this time.
Yep, and Cody's going to bring the train down pit road. Perfect opportunity for the leaders to come get pit service. And obviously Cody going to be very happy to lead that train down the pit lane. And what a run it's been for him. Could tonight be the night he gets his first win? A lot of guys want to, keep him away from that, but he certainly looks very, very determined to get the job done tonight. What a great run in stage one.
All right, let's see if we can't pull up the driver of the 6. Dawson, this is your buddy. I'm going to let you talk to him.
All right, sounds good. Hey, Cody, it's the boys in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, what a great run by you and the Dale Cup boys there at the end of that stage. You and Sebastian particularly getting to the front of the field. Obviously, he gets caught in a wreck right there, but nonetheless, you get the stage win. How are you feeling about those extra bonus points you just got?
Feeling pretty good about it. I've had a goal to hopefully try to secure the regular season championship, and at the very least try to get as many points as possible to better my odds at that. And so far, so good. I just need to keep the truck out of trouble.
Yeah, certainly there's been quite a bit of trouble at the front of the field. We're back at Daytona. We're away from 08 Daytona. The push is getting a little bit harder tonight. What's the mentality at the front of the field right now, and what's the strategy going forward here, seeing how chaotic these guys are at the front?
Track position at all costs, man. And to be honest with you, I'm more concerned about trying to get Vince in the playoffs at this point in time. And we're talking strategy in there, trying to get him every point possible. So we're just kind of feeding information back and forth to each other. And Seabass is in the playoffs. It looks like me and Steve are going to be in the playoffs, and so we're going to try to get Vince in there as well. If we could get 4 Dale Cup drivers in the playoffs, I think that's the ultimate goal. We're 2 weeks away, only 1 week after tonight, so priority right now is the 14 truck for us.
Certainly would be a very strong run to get all 4 Dale Cup team trucks into the playoffs. You've taken another step that way tonight. Great run for all 4 trucks so far. You get the stage win, though. Anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, of course, I want to thank everyone at Dale Cup running tonight. It's a fantastic first stage.
All right. Well, short and sweet. That's how we like to hear it up here. We'll let you get back to work, man. We know you want to get back down to your teammates, talk some more strategy, so we'll let you get back to it. Good luck the rest of the way. Thanks for talking to us.
Yeah, appreciate it, Dawson.
All right, there you go. Cody Nagels, driver of the number 6, our stage 1 winner. And you called it live, man. He made a great veteran move to stay out in front. And while all the action was going on behind him, his eyes were firmly planted on that stage win.
Oh, he's got a knack for knowing the right move to make. It's pretty incredible, just the natural sense he has for where the run's going to be, where the line is moving, where he needs to put his truck, where his teammates need to go. He's certainly one of the best out there doing that, and it shows right there in the stage win. You heard him; he's very calm, cool, collected, and he said the focus right here is going to be Vicente Guerrero, who, like I talked about, is the only Dale Cup truck not locked into the playoffs, and certainly he's staying out right here, or at least not going to the back. Looks like his teammates have opted to go to the back, so Vicente Guerrero going to keep mixing it up front. His teammates look to try to get him into the postseason tonight.
All right, here we go. Lights are out on the Chevy Silverado official pace truck, and that's because they tried to get a Ford out there, but it just broke down. Don't worry though. There's a recall for the Chevy. There's a recall for it. I should never taken the mechanic's job I had. Am I bitter? Yes. Am I sour? Yes. Do I hit things with a hammer? Again, yes. Here we go. Lights are out. Pace truck down and away. Josh Ball in the 1. Gonna lead this field to the green flag. The 44 of Anthony English on his outside. The 88 of Gabe Butler already locked tight to the back bumper of the 1. Here they go into turn number 1. Dawson, these guys are really getting after it to start off stage number 2.
Well, and they're getting after it because it's a lot of guys that need wins or need good runs tonight. We talked about Gabe Butler already. We talked about Vicente Guerrero already. I mentioned Anthony English. He's found his way to the front. Same with Rick Sanchez in the outside line. John Guerra, Matt Wagner, Jeff Crosby, David Overstreet. Lots of guys up here all of a sudden that really could use a great run tonight, and even could use a win. We saw Zach Fritsch get awfully close 2 weeks ago, had a look at the win. Kacey Gilchrist threw a great block and kept him away from it. Fritsch, he knows he needs to get up and on the wheel. He's doing it right now. He's not far back. A lot of guys at the front that could really shake some things up. Josh Ball, though he's not a playoff guy, is certainly one of them. Could play spoiler, take a win away from a guy that needs one tonight.
Yeah, Josh Ball absolutely could steal a win, and we are down to this race and one more before we have our championship 16. And if Josh Ball comes away with a win, oh my goodness, that would steal it away from someone else. But that is how this game is played.
Oh, absolutely. And a win in your in system, obviously, if you've got a guy like Josh Ball who came in mid-season, is not eligible for the playoffs, that's the ultimate wild card. I mean, you look at a guy like Anthony English or Rick Sanchez or Vicente Guerrero, they're eligible to win and get in. Josh Ball's not. They see him as just another obstacle. It's the same as if Logan Helton or Cody Nagels even went to victory lane and was a guy that was already locked in the playoffs. So the guys that need to win, they don't see Josh Ball as anything different. They want to shuffle him out here. Obviously, it could get very, very tough for them next week as about 7 playoff spots could come down to one race. Boy, how exciting would that be?
I mean, for us, it would be exciting. Just if you're a driver, you might as well just go ahead and call your local nail salon and say, hey, I need an extra 3 inches of fingernail added because of reasons.
Oh, 100%. I mean, it would certainly be very stressful. It's going to be stressful even if somebody locks their way in the playoffs tonight. It's still going to be 6 positions in the postseason decided by one race, and the points battle is pretty close still. So even with stage points, obviously that could be a 20-point swing. And it's gonna come down to it next week, regardless of who wins tonight. But certainly, if Josh Ball wins, or Kevin Freese, or Sebastian Marino, or somebody who's already locked their way in, that makes this really interesting. Third line, by the way, speaking of Kevin Freese and Logan Helton, they are up on the outside. They've got Karosik and Zach Workman with them. Here they come. They got a huge run coming to the front.
Boy, they are 3 wide as if this is the end of the stage. It is not. Here comes 3 trucks onto pit road. Gabe Butler, Peter DeBorgia, Eric Laurie. They're going to make their stops on the pit lane, and everyone crashes through the tri-oval. And that is going to be a huge boost to the 3 trucks who hit pit road right there. Holy cow.
Oh man, the ultimate home run strategy call by the 3 Bootnaka teammates. Butler, Laurie, there you see them coming off pit road behind the pace truck. They're going to be picked up as the leaders, we assume. If everyone comes down pit road, what a strategy call by those guys.
As we look at what happened, 68-17, they're pointed the wrong directions. As this yellow flag comes out, and man, I'll tell you what, Dawson. Whew. Wow, these trucks making contact like that. It's I don't know where I'm going with this. Save me, Dawson, I'm drowning.
I'm not really sure where to go with that either. Looked like another stack up at the front of the field. As I was watching the teammates come down pit road, Laurie, Butler, and DeBorgia make that really odd strategy call. Well, odd on one hand, I guess genius on another hand now, as they're most likely going to inherit the race lead right here, as everybody is going to need to come down pit road. And what a call. I mean, I cannot get over how perfectly timed that was for them to be on pit road when it came out and not still out in front of pit road. If they were not on pit road yet, that would have been a penalty for entering a closed pit. Luckily, they were about halfway down the pit road when the caution came out. You could not have timed that better for those 3 guys.
No, and that, you know, that's just luck. But you make your own luck, okay? And they were in the right place at the right time. Everyone's going to come down pit road except for Gabe Butler, Peter DeBorgia. They've already hit pit lane. And so when this all cycles through, they are going to come out. Not only did they hit pit road when that happened, they made their pit stops, but they had zero risk involved in that crash. And so now they are front runners sitting 1 and 2.
Yeah, and they're going to actually have their teammates cycle out behind them, Kevin Freese. So it's going to be Bootnock at 1 through 4 on this restart as he wins the race off pit road. You really could not have written a better outcome here as we get closer to stage 2 for Team Bootnaka, who is also still trying to lock some guys into playoffs. Obviously, Freeze has 2 wins. He's locked in. DeBorgia is pretty well locked in as well on points. Butler, we said, is close, but Eric Laurie is not locked in yet. So definitely they're looking for a good run for him tonight in the 0-7-1, and this is a great start. This is exactly what they were looking for. It's exactly what the doctor ordered. They're going to be running 1, 2, 3, or 4 on this restart. They're going to be controlling both lines. They're going to have to find a way around them if you're one of the guys from 5th on back.
All right, so Kevin Freese, Eric Laurie, Logan Helton, Anthony English, these guys all making their pit stops. Everyone should be able to make it from here, I believe, but it is going to be close, right? Because the end of the stage is the completion of lap 50. Last time they were on pit road was lap 33. So that's about 17, 18 laps.
Well, they're going to be able to save here under this caution. Speaking of the front 3, or front 2, excuse me, and it is 3 actually with Eric Laurie. They're going to be able to make it as long as they are able to save here under the caution. You've seen them running the apron, so certainly they're doing their best to save a couple of laps. They should be able to do that here under this yellow, so I imagine everyone will be good. We're going to be able to race it all the way to the end of lap 50 and give out some more stage points.
All right, here we go. Lights are out on the Chevy Silverado, the pace truck. Gonna go around one more time before we let all the madness take back over. Gabe Butler, Peter DeBorgia, right place, right time. They find themselves at the front of the field for this restart. Row number 2 going to be the 25 of Kevin Freese, and then the 0-7-1 of Eric Laurie. Row 3 will be Logan Helton, and the 44 of Anthony English for this restart. So Dawson, tell you what, these drivers, they know right now they're staring down the possibility of a long green flag run here, but some of them are going to be right at the edge of their fuel trim or fuel limit. So do you force those guys, Gabe Butler, Peter DeBorgia, to stay out front and burn all that fuel and possibly force them onto pit road or a long pit stop at the end of the stage?
I think it's certainly a decent strategy. I don't think anybody behind them's thinking that way, though. I think they're thinking, I got to get to the front. If you're within range of stage points or a stage win right here, I think your goal is to get to the front, especially if you're a guy that's further back in points. Vicente Guerrero comes to mind. He's going to be on the inside of row number 5, and he's a guy I would figure would go to the front regardless of who's up front, regardless of how much fuel they have to burn. I don't think he's going to care. I think he's just going to go for the stage win. I think that's your mentality as a driver. We're going to see, though, those two leading, how much fuel they actually are going to have here. 13 laps to go on the stage.
All right, here we go. The Silverado down on the pit road. Green flag back out into the air. Peter DeBorgia, Gabe Butler side by side. And away we go once again to try and wrap up stage number 2. That will end at the completion of lap 50.
And again, the 5-lap rule will be in effect. Obviously, we've seen the last few weeks, we've needed that 5-lap rule to end a stage. Both of our stages last our last race 2 weeks ago, and the first stage tonight. have all ended under a yellow flag. Well, technically tonight's ended under a green flag. There you go, Guerrero, bottom to middle. He's fourth in the middle lane now, but the top lane has boxed him in. Workman and Jim Mayer and Zach Fritsch, Nate Warren joining the party up top. Those are guys that need points, and they're coming for points here late in the going in stage number 2, but it gives Guerrero an option if that top line starts to fade. Keep an eye on the 14. We heard Cody talk about that their primary goal as a team was to make sure the 14 got points. That's exactly what they're going to try to do, but up front, it is Bootnaka. Both lines too deep here as they try to get past DeBorgia and Gabe Butler. Here comes Workman on the outside.
All right, just dropped my keyboard all over the place. Okay, I'm back. I got it. We're good.
That's why I keep my keyboard stationary on the desk. I'm not sure how you dropped it in the middle of a race. I can't say I've ever done that one before.
Well, correct. That's all I can say. No, my keyboard has to sit in my lap, and I shifted my leg, and it fell. That's all I can say. All right, here we go. 3 wide. Peter DeBorgia down on the bottom. Gabe Butler in the 88. Zach Workman in the 19. The newest daddy that we have in this league. As far as I know, there's someone newer than Zach Workman. You gotta let me know. But he's not even a month out from a new addition to his family.
Yeah, certainly a very cool moment to hear about Zach Workman becoming a dad. Obviously, we had Peter DeBorgia win a Wednesday night race a couple weeks ago. That was a really cool moment, running Workman's paint scheme that night. That was really cool, and obviously, we all appreciated that moment. Oh, boy, Logan Helton bullies his way back into the bottom line as he got stacked up behind the Bootnaka teammates on the bottom, and Anthony English, I don't know how happy he's going to be with the driver of the 63 after he just forced his way back in. I certainly would not be very happy with him if that were me. Obviously, got to keep your head in check here with still 60 laps to go, but Anthony English says, I'm going to write that down. I'm going to remember that one.
Oh, you got to remember it. As a driver, you have to remember who did what to you, because when it is strategically an advantageous moment, that's when you stick your bumper into their right rear and send them into the wall.
Yeah, I'm not sure in this situation what a strategically advantageous moment would be for Anthony English. Certainly wouldn't be with this big a pack of trucks around him, but it's when you write down in your mental notebook though, and I don't know. Maybe we'll see some get back on that one later. But up front, still Workman, Butler, and DeBorgia as the top line. It's fading a little. Jim Mayer doing a really good job of keeping Workman up there, but it's just not going to work for a long term if you can't get that first guy clear.
So we are 3 wide right now as we are about ready to wrap up stage number 2. We're within the final 9 laps of the stage. Gabe Butler in the 88, out in front, Peter DeBorgia, Zach Workman. These guys are the line leaders right now. Butler in the middle has the advantage at the line, but Zach Workman in the outside with some help from Jim Mayer. They are trying to work their way around that long side. Good grief. Dawson, yeah, I was trying to talk about the long way around.
Yeah, I think I had caught on. They're up against the wall, and unfortunately for them, both lines starting to fade to the bottom with a big surge through turns 3 and 4. DeBorgia goes up to give his teammate Kevin Freese some fresh air, as Logan Helton now is the lead pusher on the bottom. Anthony English riding third in line on the bottom now, as there's really just nowhere to go. Everyone's kind of stalled where they're at as guys look for spots to go. Freese may get clear to lead, allow Logan Helton some air, but nope, guess not. Butler and DeBorgia right back to him, and everybody just kind of going to have to be content to run right where they are with 7 laps to go in the stage.
Side by side, Kevin Freese in the 25 has the advantage over the 40 of Peter DeBorgia. Kevin in the 25, one of the drivers who is locked in, has multiple wins on the season, but that doesn't mean that he's going to sit back and just let things happen around him. He is still a competitor. He still wants to win, and that is showing right now as he has the advantage on the top spot. Do want to point out, Dude Conrad in the 08 out of the race, but we do have two drivers into the wall. That is the 31 of Kacey Gilchrist, last week's race winner, and the 68 of David Overstreet. Yellow flag is out, and I do think this is going to be a shootout for the end of the stage.
Yeah, we're not inside 5 laps to go, so I do think we're going to get back going here in stage number 2, and we're going to find out who's going to get the stage win right as it got good. Now the fuel question becomes even bigger at the front of the field, especially for the Bootnaka teammates that decided to pit early.
All right, let's take a look here. The 31, the 68, they go into the corner side by side, one in the middle, one in the outside lane. Let's see how this plays out. And the 31 just drifts up into the 68. Ooh, man, glad I'm not race control.
Oh boy. Yeah, that's an interesting looking one. As I'm trying to get a second look at it myself. Oh boy, looks like Gilchrist maybe slid up just a little. I don't think it's malicious by either driver, but guys going for the same piece of real estate, and that does not work typically.
Nope, it does not. So yellow flag coming out once again. With that being said, guys, we're going to step away for a quick break. No one go anywhere. We'll be back to set up the end of stage number 2.
racing. You wanted the best. You got him 4 abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt. The World of Outlaws.
Here we go in a 2-lap shootout for the end of stage number 2. Peter DeBorgia, Anthony English on the front row. Green flag is out. Away we go once again. And they are all trying to get what they can for points to wrap up this stage. Dawson, the 44 on the outside. How do you think his chances are to make it to the front for this stage?
I normally say they're pretty good, but he's up against a pair of teammates on the bottom in the form of DeBorgia and Butler. Would not be surprised to see one of them go to the outside. No, they stick with their teammates. Oh, DeBorgia gets turned out by his teammate across the front of the field. We're going to pile him up in a big way.
They are piling up, and the caution flag is out, and that will do it for the end of stage number 2. The 40 keeps rolling, but Anthony English in the 44 looks like he is going to win the stage as he is out in front and nobody trying to pass him.
I think you're right. I think Anthony English, after we talked about him for once, it goes the guy's way that we talked about instead of us cursing someone up here in the booth. Right on cue, Anthony English.
Curse.
Right on cue, Anthony English wins stage number 2. How about that?
He's got to get around one more time just to make it official, because it is at the completion of the lap. But the yellow flag came out. Let's back this up. Let's see what happened here. Having to go a long way back. Give me just a moment here. Holy cow. There was a lot that went down. So Peter DeBorgia smacks the outside wall, and several trucks scatter. LKH, that is, I feel like I know who LKH Racing is. It's kind of somebody important. If only I knew who that was. We go on board with Logan Helton in the 63. Couple contacts there, and somehow he got through all of that. Les Levy in the 62 gets on the binders, gets it slowed down, and he does come to a stop. How about that? 62 with a good heads up moment.
May come back to help him later in the race. Some more guys get involved in accidents and have to use their fast repair. We're going to have some on this caution right here. Quite a few, actually. I'm pretty sure. I'll tell you what, and I'm not sure if you were just being sarcastic, but LKH in the chat, that would be Logan Hilton. And
yes, I was.
yeah, I was hoping it was sarcasm because
Yes.
I saw him come through the wreck, and I was hoping that's who that was, because holy cow, I have no idea how he made it all the way through that wreck with barely any damage, minuscule if any.
No, I do know. That's my buddy. That's my buddy. All right. Our stage winner, that was the 44 of Anthony English. And Dawson. Wait, no, you talk. I want to talk to somebody, Dawson. Quit trying to steal the thunder.
Feel free. Go ahead. Not no thunder stealing over here.
I think you're trying to take everything away from me. All right. Not really. I'm stalling for time so I can talk to the driver of the 44, Anthony English. Anthony, you got your ears on, bud?
Hey, what's happening, guys?
Not a whole lot. Rumor has it you won the stage.
Rumor has it I did. I don't know how. I absolutely have no idea what happened. I just seen a slew of madness and I missed it.
All right, well, I'll tell you what, with like a 2-lap shootout for the end of the stage, you and Peter DeBorgia on the front row, what were you thinking for that restart?
I'm just going to give Peter a good run for his money. I wasn't really worried about getting a stage win. I'm kind of out of it no matter what I do without a win, so I was just, just running hard, just going to give him a run for it. And I don't know whether him and Gabe just got misaligned below, but I just seen him go right across my nose. Like, it was wild. So, I mean, I just wanted a good, clean finisher for the stage. So it's unfortunate for the guys that were in that. Like I said, I still don't even know what happened, but I'll take it for stage win of the year. At least I can say I won something this year, right?
All right, man. Shout outs, thank yous that you need to give before we go back racing.
Oh yeah, you guys up in the booth, everybody OP what they do, all the admins and stuff, family and friends watching, my beautiful girlfriend sitting on the couch, half asleep.
All right, what team are you with tonight?
Vendetta.
All right, man. Nice job. Congratulations on the stage.
Thank you.
All right, that is the driver of the 44, Anthony English, picking up stage 2, Wiener. Holy cow. All right, Dawson, take it away, bud, as I correct my spelling errors.
Nah, everybody does it. I do it. No shame in that. Also, no shame in Logan Helton taking the lead on this race start. So he's going to have control of the field. And I'll tell you who's made their way to the front. Two guys, Bubba Winningham, Dave Hunt, have made their presence felt here at the front of the field as we're going to get stage 3 underway. 48 laps to go from Daytona. How about Bubba Winningham? Oh, maybe a little slow start on the outside for the 66. Jeff Crosby trying to give him some friendly encouragement, if you will, in the form of a push into turn number 1. It's going to allow Dave Hunt to get clear to the bottom. And don't look now. Here comes Sebastian Merritt. He's back to the front. No surprise, he finds a way at Daytona to make his way to the front. I imagine he'll take the top here if it gets clear. Oh, boy, Helton and Hunt. Oh, that was close. Still close. Oh, boy. Oh, geez. These guys are all over the place. They're stacking up further back. I don't know how we're going to make it out of this one.
Somehow we made it out of it for the moment, but now the yellow flag comes out. Gabe Butler slows down. Several other trucks slowed down. That was a huge moment down the backstretch. Let's go off the nose of the 88, and you can see just what happened. Wow. Stephen Miles in the 8 got turned sideways, made contact with the outside wall. However, everyone keeps going. Cody Nagels, our front runner in qualifying. Caught up in this one. Man, the 19. Holy cow. Zach Workman, right place, right time.
Yeah, a lot of guys right place, right time. A lot of guys also wrong place, wrong time. And I think the main one of that is Cody Nagels, who gets caught up in this one as he was running at the back of the field. That is worst case scenario for the driver of the 6, as he was just minding his own business, gets involved in a wreck, has to come get more damage repaired.
All right, so on the pit road, several drivers make their appearance for their pit crews. Logan Helton stays out. Sebastian Marin, Richard Kuhn, Jim Mayer, David Overstreet, Zach Workman, Richard Sanchez, they stay out. Steve Karosik gets back on the lead lap as he is the free pass. And Dawson, another yellow flag here on lap 55.
The pace of the race definitely has slowed down a considerable amount. I mean, we were really looking good there for a long time. Looked like we were going to get into a couple of long green flag runs, have some pit stops, and now all of a sudden these guys can't get it figured out. Hopefully they do. It's still from here about a 2-stop race to the end of the race here on pit stops, so still a lot of possibilities as to how long we could go green once we get back underway.
All right, with that being said, and Dawson, I don't know about you, but for some reason, I started this tradition, had nothing to do with anybody anywhere, but tonight, this one is focused solely on the driver of the 6, and that is Cody Nagels. And so he is getting the cold crack of beverage refreshment here tonight. There we go. It happens. Too bad he's sitting on pit road, Dawson.
And he kind of spoils the party a little bit, doesn't he? And yeah, I'll have to tell him I said that too. Actually, I'll pass him on a personal message. He spoiled the tradition tonight.
Tell him he owes me $20.
I don't know how happy he'll be about that one. Maybe a little bit less inclined once he realizes he owes you a little bit of money.
Yep. Well, he's the one that said, "Hey, I need you to crack it for me tonight. I'll give you $20 if you do it." And so I did it for him, and he's sitting on pit road. So, I mean, it's a double whammy.
Wow, damaged truck sitting on pit road. I think he's already used his fast repair, and now he's going to be $20 in the hole. It's even with a stage win, I don't think he's going to break even tonight unless he gets a win.
All right, Mad Dog Racing chiming in. How you doing, Mad Dog? Good to see you, buddy. Glad to see you participating, even though you're a bit under the weather. He is cheering for Bubba. Mad Dog is cheering for Bubba, so maybe Bubba has something to do here tonight. The 66 right now in 18th position, so mid-pack has a lot of work cut out. But Bubba also, Dawson, I don't know if you know this, but Bubba offered me a job because I know how to turn a wrench and throw a hammer, and he said, "Hey, you want to come work for me?" But we're in like very, very different states, so I said, no. But
That'll do it.
That will do it, but I do like Bubba. I do like it, Bubba. I'm not gonna lie. Just too big of a move. Too big. All right, here we go. getting ready to have that green flag fly once again. Logan Helton, Sebastian Marin on the front row. Green flag is out. Away we go once again. Dawson, two very dominant drivers on the front row as they head off into turn number 1.
Yep, two former winners this season. Helton, a two-time winner, a back-to-back winner a little bit earlier on. He's cooled off since then, but certainly would love some momentum going into the playoffs. If he can get it done tonight, Marin would love to get back to victory lane as well. And a bunch of hungry guys behind him, a lot of whom who do not have a good playoff standing right now and really could use a win tonight. FSR teammates Zach Workman, Jeff Crosby Jr. definitely in that boat, and they're both going to be clear. They may take it right here. Well, actually, Jim Mayer beats him to the punch for Alliance. How about the 95 running up front now in turn 3?
Side by side, several drivers trying to make it happen. Oh my goodness, lap traffic gonna play a part of this as well. Logan Helton in the 63 comes around and leads that lap. Logan Helton, one of our drivers who is locked in multiple wins so far this season. Jim Mayer, however, Jim does not have himself locked in just yet. I'm trying to go through my notes here very quickly. Bear with me, but I believe Jim Mayer is in a must-win situation.
I think you're right. I think he's far enough down in points. He basically has to rely on a victory if he wants to go to the postseason at this point. I do believe he's going to have his minimum starts, but he's at a point in the standings where he has to go to victory lane, and you can tell the desperation level for him, for Workman, for Crosby, for English, for even Richard Kuhn running a little further back, although he's in a better spot. You can tell the intensity, the desperation, it has ramped up in a big way, getting close to 40 laps to go. Oh, trouble, Helton, hard into the outside wall, and oh, we're going to pile him up again.
To put a cherry on the top of what we were talking about, Jim Mayer, 7 starts on the season, 8 with tonight, 9 will be next week, and that is the bare minimum. So he is absolutely in a must-win situation. But Logan Helton in the 63, hard contact, yellow flag is out, and there are several trucks involved in this one. Let's take a look at it. The 33 and the 63 not quite meeting up on their back bumper, front bumper, however you want to talk about how they're pushing each other. It did not go well.
Oh, some just brutal hits in the outside wall. Richard Kuhn, I think, actually may have hit a little harder than Helton did. So we get one more look at it. I want to watch up ahead. Oh my goodness, Helton, and then watch Richard Kuhn. He gets it a ton as well. Oh my goodness, Alex Green drives underneath the 63 and actually gets collected in at the end. This is a lot of trucks. I did not realize at first how many guys are involved in this accident.
Yeah, several trucks getting involved here. Looking out the back of Sean McCarra in the 71. He gets through, and you can see just how hard of an impact the 63 makes. Sean McCarra goes around. Anthony English collected. And man, I'll tell you what, this was like, okay. Fuel strategy to the side, because everyone's coming down pit road this time. So we're at lap 60 of 100. That's close. I mean, that's close to a 2-stop strategy.
And we're closing in on where you could really start to see guys save and try to make this on one more pit stop. And I think you're going to see some guys do so. Maybe the guys are sitting a little longer on pit road. Maybe they're going to the back. Maybe their goal here come back, pit once more with 1 lap to go, get themselves an extra little splash of gas. And it's going to be awfully close. I think maybe you can make it. It's awfully close. I think you're going to need a couple cautions, but I think you can make it happen. If you pit one more time right here, it's going to main 38 laps. You need to go 19 on a run. That's not impossible, I don't think.
No, 19's not impossible. You do need some help of a caution, but it is close. It is close. All right, Dawson. That being said, let's go ahead and take a quick break. Guys, no one go anywhere. We'll be right back after this.
Whopper, Junior, Double, Triple, Whopper, Impossible or Bacon Whopper. I rule this day. And BK, have it your way.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker, the future is feeling.
Back to green flag racing here. Welcome back to Daytona. 38 laps to go as we get back under the green flag for yet another restart. A very discombobulated restart at that, looking about 7 rows back. It's where you find the Dale Cup teammates Karosik and Marin looking to make their way back to the front, but up front it is Rick Sanchez, who made the most of a pit stop right there. Same with David Overstreet, who's made his way back to the front, and Jim Mayer as well, staying at the front. Guys that need wins are all at the front of the field here late in the going as these guys start to scramble, try to figure out their strategies. Here comes Jim Mayer to the outside, headed back for turn 3.
Side by side into turn 3 and 4 they go. Jim Mayer in the 95 we were just talking about. He is in a must-win situation because he has to start this race and the next race and win either this one or the next one to make it into playoff contention. The 95 right now out in front, he might be able to pull it off. We're on lap 64 of 100.
Well, he's not out front anymore as the Dale Cup teammates got a great push into turn number 1. They go out front, Karosik and Marin, and they leave Jeff Crosby Sr. up against the outside wall, basically all by his lonesome, trying to wait for some help to come. It is not going with him. Looks like Les Levy going to give him a spot in line about 5 rows deep. Big push on the bottom. Hunt, Sanchez, Nate Warren trying to get back to the front, but that top line is connected in a big way. Oh, they drift up a little bit. Everybody keeps it together. Sanchez still drifting up into the second lane. Now the Dale Cup teammates are clear. 36 laps to go. It's Steve Karosik at the front.
Karosik in the 027 on the outside. Here comes the 23 of Sebastian Marin. He makes a move from the bottom to the middle. And I'm not sure that 23 wanted to make that move, but it happened and he was able to hold on to the steering wheel.
Maybe by design by the teammates, trying to cycle some temperatures here, keep each other cool. Marin back to the bottom in front of Sanchez. This is exactly what they're going to do. They're going to manage lanes, make sure they can keep each other at the front of the field. You're going to see Marin go between the lines. It's what he's good at, is managing these two lanes. Karosik is very good at it as well. So expect these guys to do a lot of that up at the front of the field. 35 laps to go from Daytona. We still do expect at least one pit stop to be made here in the latter stages of this race. These guys have kind of calmed down a little bit. Definitely not as much moving around as Sanchez blinks in and out right there, but too wide. Everybody kind of just riding for now, maybe trying to get to that last pit stop and separate themselves from the rest of the field.
Karosik, Mayer, Sebastian on the bottom, and now Karosik drops down to the inside lane. Jim Mayer in the 95, that red hot 95 truck. Good thing it's a Chevy Silverado, because if it was something else, I would have a bad joke to say.
Yeah, you know, I probably would too. A lot of Chevy Silverados at the front of the field. Only a couple of Fords that I see, and Rick Sanchez and Zach Workman a little further back. Other than that, it's all Chevrolet. And you know what? I think that tells you something. It tells you a lot, actually.
Like, Chevy's better than Ford?
It's yeah, that's definitely what I was going for. I was hoping I made that pretty clear. I figure that's why there's so many of them at the front and not many of the other manufacturers. But hey, you know, what do I know?
What do we know? I mean, we're just fans of Chevy, and we're out in front, so obviously we're doing something right.
I would say so. Oh, issues. David Overstreet, not sure what happened there on the 68. Mark Mann trying to let him back in line. It's going to fade the outside line badly here. As Nate Warren, he says, all right, well, hey, you guys left me a spot. I'm going to take it. He goes to third on the outside line, gives him a lot of options. Starts to scramble a little further back. Looked like Kevin Freeze, Alex Green thought about going three wide, but nope, they're going to stay in line. Karosik back to the bottom in front of his teammate. This is the calmest it's been all night. Nobody's really leaning on each other. Everybody's giving each other plenty of space and saying, all right, let's just get to the pit stop. Let's run this out the rest of the way and keep it green. Certainly looks like it to me anyway.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, we do want you to cheer loudly and often in YouTube chat. And if you are enjoying the show that the drivers are putting on for you, also make sure that you hit that thumbs up button, because they do come back, they do watch, and everything you say is set in stone. They can go back and see it. So make sure you're cheering, make sure you're supporting your driver in any way you can. Caps lock off, I don't care, do it anyways. Here we go, final few laps, like as in 30-ish, final few laps. One more stop on the fuel tank, and then it's all said and done. So Dawson, Steve Karosik in the 027 out in front, Jim Mayer in the 95, who has a must-win situation. Holy cow, here we go.
It's really a battle of who wants it more, and certainly Jim Mayer has found himself in a wonderful position tonight, but those teammates on the bottom, they are just able to surge ahead. Sebastian Marin, one of the better pushers in the field tonight. They just don't have the help right now that they need. It's going to allow Jim Mayer to get back to him. Sean Stevens is around. This may not be a caution. I don't think it's going to be. It was only the 27, and he is going to get it righted, so I think we're going to stay green, and it's going to split the field up. And alas, in all that scramble, Jim Mayer back to the race lead across the bumper of Karosik.
All right, there we go. Mad Dog Racing yelling at the top of his lung. Is this loud enough? Yes, it is. Kevin Nagels cheering for Cody and Vigente. Absolutely. Let me have it, ladies and gentlemen. Caps lock off. Let that thing go. Hit the thumbs up. Do all the things. And make some noise for your favorite driver, because we're within one more pit stop. And I'll tell you what, that driver that just hit pit road might have an advantage if he can get through it. Sean Stevens in the 27, back on the backstretch. If the yellow comes out at the right time, this driver might be in the right place, right time.
Yeah, he's about the only guy on track, I think, right now that could use a caution. I think everybody else is kind of hoping it reaches a green flag stop. The window is going to open sometime around lap 81, 82, 83, somewhere in there. So still about 9, 10, 11 laps to get to that point. We're going to have to see if these guys have enough to go more than one stop. Obviously, Karosik and Marin, I think, will be pretty close to make it on one stop. They've been out front a lot here on this run, and same with Jim Mayer. So let's see if those guys can make it to that number. I know a lot of guys further back. I'm talking like Fritsch, Levy, David Booth, Kacey Gilchrist, guys like that have, I'm pretty sure, been saving this whole time. At least that's what it certainly looks like to me.
We go on board with Mark Mann, finding himself inside the top 10. 04. Right now, third truck in the outside lane. He is behind David Overstreet in the 68. You see Steve Karosik, Jim Mayer on the inside, Sebastian Marin. I'll tell you what, there are some heavy hitters making their way onto the front row. But now we do have two trucks to deal with for lap traffic. Dropping down to the inside, Peter DeBorgia, good heads up move by the 40.
Yeah, had to get out of the way quick. They were about to swallow him up. Unfortunately, that strategy for Sean Stevens about to go out the window here pretty quickly once the field bypasses him. He's going to be a lap down, going to have to rely on the lucky dog and still probably make another pit stop. So, well, unless the caution comes out in the next 3 seconds, nope, he's going to go a lap down. So Sean Stevens, it does not pay off for him that he got to pit road, whether by choice or not. It's not going to pay off for him. Oh boy, Marin to the top with Karosik. They got a huge run and surging, but oh, Marin almost gets turned. That was another almost big moment at the front of the field. Nonetheless, Marin back to the lead, 26 laps to go.
To do a little bit of housekeeping, we do have 29 trucks on the lead lap. John Stevens, the first truck, 1 lap down. Hogan Helton, Jeff Crosby Jr., Peter DeBorgia, Richard Kuhn, Dude Conrad, all not on the lead lap. And I do want to point out that Dude Conrad and Richard Kuhn are out of the race. They have pulled their scorecard, so they are done. DeBorgia making his way off of pit road, and he is at least 4, maybe 5 laps down as the field comes around once again to try and put him another lap down, as we have 25 laps to go. One more pit stop left in this race for real, for anger. Somebody somewhere is going to get it wrong though.
Yeah, somebody's going to have the right strategy. Someone's going to have what looks to be the wrong one, and we're going to find out very quickly. The window opens here in about 5 or 6 laps, and if guys can make it that long, then we're going to start seeing some pit stops here in that time. It's going to come down to it. It's the money stop. It's what we've been waiting on all race long. It's kind of what I'm sure a lot of these guys hoped it would get to, especially if they're running a little further back. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting because so many of these guys I think have saved a lot of fuel. The only two guys that have not, Marin and Karosik, and they may be on the losing end of this strategy.
Peter DeBorgia stayed down to the inside last time around, so good heads up move by the driver of the 40. Sebastian Marin in the 23, Steve Karosik in the 027, and at one point Karosik had to dig himself out of a hole, and it's good to see him out in front. Jim Mayer in the 95 and the 510 of Richard Sanchez. Oh my goodness, there is a lot of talent working their way forward right now that are all in must-win situations.
Well, we already talked about Jim Mayer. Obviously, it's not a must-win for Nate Warren or Rick Sanchez, but certainly it would calm them down for next week. It would make their jobs a little bit easier if they could lock in tonight. Dave Hunt would really want a win tonight. Martin Mann would like a win tonight. David Booth, Anthony English. How many guys are up here that really could use victories tonight? And they're like you said, making their way forward as well. As Jeff Crosby Jr. is making his way back to the front, I can see him a little further back in the 33. So many guys up near the front. Jimmy Reynolds as well. I didn't even notice because he's running a different paint scheme tonight. He's making his way to the front. This could get very, very interesting. Inside 25 laps to go. Still a pit stop to go, but a lot of the must-win guys in a great spot right now.
Oh, Nate Warren trying to make a third lane work. Nobody goes up there with him, and Nate Warren gonna fall back very quickly. Sebastian Marin in the 23, our line leader, race leader, whatever you want to call him. He is out in front, but here comes the 027 of Steve Karosik. He is trying to make some noise. He drops down to the inside. Mark Mann in the 04. Miss Mara, that's your boy toy. He's doing something right now at the last possible moment.
Here we go, pit stops. It's the Dale Cup boys first, along with English and Mayer and Sanchez and a few others. Karosik slides that truck into the pit lane. They draw Jeff Crosby Sr. with them. They actually draw a pretty big group. Vicente Guerrero, Nate Warren, Alex Green, Eric Laurie, John Guerra, all on pit road with the race leaders. The cycle has begun, and I'll tell you what, KR, 22 laps. I don't know if they can go that far.
Ooh, it is a big stretch. And remember, when we just had the most recent caution, it was kind of one of those moments where you have to make a decision to stretch it or make your pit stops. And here we go. Yeah. 21 laps to go, 20 laps to go this time around.
Oh boy, problems. David Overstreet gets hooked off of the inside of pit road, ends up in the grass. He's going to tow to his pit box. And I believe the night for Davo has come to an end on this pit cycle as he made contact with Jimmy Reynolds on the entrance of pit road.
All right, the 68 hits pit road. And the 04 of Mark Mann wins the race off of pit road. 20 laps to go, so everyone still has to make one more pit stop as far as my math is going. So Dawson, I don't know about you, but this is, oh my goodness. We're right at the limit of making it to the end with a caution, but keep in mind we have 2 attempts at a green-white checkered.
Well, here's what's going to be interesting as you see Steve Karosik, Anthony English, Jim Mayer flash by the leaders. They're going to retake the race lead. What makes this really interesting is going to be if you're a guy further back, like a Mark Mann that's pushing right now. Is English. Big, strong move to the bottom of the racetrack. New leader in the trial, Anthony English in the 44. They leave Karosik hanging out to dry. No help in sight for the 027. He waits on some teammates a little further back, but like say a guy like Sebastian Marin is pushing right now, a guy like Cody Nagels, you're going to be able to save under green right here, and you're going to see them do that. You're going to see them lift, not push as hard, intentionally save fuel, try to save about a lap, and they may be able to stretch it. If you're not leading here, you might be able to make it, but it's going to be awfully close.
Logan Helton in the 63 out in front of this pack, but he is not on the lead lap. Logan Helton multiple laps down. Tough break for the driver of the 63, but however, multiple wins on this season. He is already locked in to the playoff championship. Drivers of the 16, however you want to say it. And right now, he's still not giving up, and you got to appreciate someone who says, I'm going to go as hard as I can for as long as I can.
Yeah, Helton just trying to do all he can right here. Just kind of got the bad end of a pit cycle and a couple of cautions. Ends up on the tail end of the lead lap, at least on my scoring. Now going to fluctuate between lead lap and a lap down as he runs up front with the leaders, but he's just trying to, be in a good spot if a wreck happens behind him, which is this gets more and more, closer to the end of this race. I think you're going to see it get more and more dicey, and if Helton's out from the leaders, it's a lifeline for the 63, and that's exactly what Mark Mann's trying to do, is keep him up front. And also, I'll tell you what, Helton is allowing Mark Mann to save some gas in second there. Anthony English, not the same luxury on the bottom of the racetrack. So Mark Mann, maybe also a strategy call for Alliance Motorsports.
Kevin Nagels chiming in saying that Cody and Vigente are lurking. I think he's right. I think we have to watch Cody and Vigente because they are kind of right there where they need to be. And if we think about it for just a moment, Cody was caught up in several crashes and found himself in several places at the right time, right place, right time type of situation.
Well, hey, KR, I don't mean to negate anything you just said, but I do want to draw attention. The Dale Cup team has just hit pit road with 16 laps to go, so that proves no one can make it to the end. The Dale Cup boys, they decided we're going to make the first move. How does the field respond? Clearly, they cannot make it, or at least the Dale Cup guys couldn't, and we're going to see how the rest of the field decides to react.
All right, Anthony English, driver of the 44, he is out in front. Will he come down pit road this time? No, and he is going to stay out and try and hold on to the race lead. But the 63 of Logan Helton, one of our drivers who is not on the lead pace, doing all he can to try and get back into this race. The 63, the 04 running nose to tail. They are teammates here from Alliance Motorsports, and Mark Mann pushing on the 63. So Dawson, I'll tell you what, anytime you start seeing Alliance Motorsports lining up, oh my goodness, everyone else better try and figure out how to separate them, because it's going to get wild.
Oh, it is, and it's wild for two reasons. Number one, like I talked about, I think he's helping the look at how far off the 04 is here in the trial. I'm telling you what, I think Mark Mann's saving gas, and there's a decent chance. I don't know if they can make it 22 laps. I don't know if they can. Boy, what a strategy win it would be for a guy like Mark Mann, a guy like Anthony English, Jim Mayer, to end up winning the race because they managed to stay out. And man, what a tough break it would be for the Dale Cup guys who decide to come to pit road with 15 laps to go. That tells me nobody can make it, but I don't actually know if nobody can make it. Maybe just those guys that couldn't make it. Maybe they just didn't get enough fuel or something, but Helton is absolutely helping his teammates save gas.
All right, so our strategy is all over the place. We have 13 laps to go. Logan Helton, Mark Mann. They are running nose to tail. Last time they were on pit road was lap 80. We already saw Cody Nagels on pit road, lap 84, along with Sebastian Marin. So, we have like 3 different strategies pulling out right now.
Oh, it might be more than 3 now. More pit stops. Fritsch, Workman, Hunt, and Levy hit pit road with 12 laps to go. Now I really start to question. I don't think anybody at the front of the field can make it. It's going to come down to who makes the best pit stop and who can get up out and hooked up with their teammates fast enough to get back out front of this pack. This may be a very split finish.
Absolutely. Anthony English in the 44 right now on the yellow line, out in front. 12 laps to go. Last time he was on pit road was on lap 79. So he will have to come down pit road along with the 04 of Mark Mann. They do not elect to hit pit road this time, but Sean McCarra and Nate Warren, they do hit pit road. So the 44, the 04, the 63, they all stay out. They are all trying to do what they can to be in the right place at the right time. But Dawson, I don't know about you, but I don't know when the right time is, because that caution flag could come out right now. We are in the middle of green flag pit stops, and somebody somewhere could be that Snake Eyes roll, and someone could be the 7-Eleven roll.
I'm not really sure what that what you're getting at. I'm not too worried focusing on these pit stops, but I'll tell you what, the more split the field gets, the more guys that decide to split off, go to pit road, the less likely it's going to be that we get a caution. The more likely it's going to be that this comes down to who makes the best pit stop. And I just feel like it's going to come down to that. I don't think we're going to have another caution, and we're getting to the point where the field is too thin up front. We're just not going to have enough guys to have enough energy to create a wreck at this point. So I think it's going to be who's got the best fuel mileage. And I mean, based on the guys I'm watching, I think it's Mark Mann. We'll see, but I'm willing to hedge a bet on the 04 because he's been able to save gas this entire run.
Kevin Freese peels off for pit road. The 25 makes his final pit stop of the race. Mark Mann in the 04 out in front. Last time he was on pit road was lap 80. We now have 9 laps to go. We're working lap 92. I wonder if Mark Mann thinks he can make it to the end of this race without another pit stop.
It's not going to help him now. He's not going to have his teammate on the bottom now. His teammate drops back across. He'll be able to save a little bit more gas. Anthony English just going to give him a prime opportunity to save as well. Although, I thought they were going to die to pit road. They faked me out just a little bit. Now Rick Sanchez is in a bad spot when it comes to saving gas. He doesn't have a guy in front of him, but Jeff Crosby does. Oh, man. This is exactly what I've been looking forward to, is figuring out who's going to have the best stop, who's going to have the best execution. I will say, just briefly, a couple of the groups have found each other here on the racetrack. Zach Workman, Nate Warren, Sebastian Marin, Sean McCarra, Cody Nagel, Zach Fritsch, Vicente Guerrero, Bubba Winningham, Dave Hunt, Les Levy, Eric Laurie are all in the same group now. That's a 10-truck group that has grown from a couple of different pit cycles. Oh, boy, big moment. Jeff Crosby gets cycled out to the top here against the wall.
The 33 of Jeff Crosby Jr. all the way to the top shelf, drops down to the second lane. Mark Mann in the 04, Richard Sanchez in the 510. They are still out there and charging as hard as they can. Sanchez in that second lane. And I'll tell you what, if you haven't hit pit road yet, you are still trying to gamble and make it as far as you can. So with that being said, who's in the right place at the right time? Well, I'll tell you what, throw the dice. If it comes up snake eyes, you might lose.
I don't know. I mean, these guys at the front certainly, I think, are in the best spot. They're gaining time on the second group. Well, what's become of the second group now, which is led by Sebastian Marin. But the downside for this group up front is they're going to have to take more fuel here at the end. They're going to run a longer last run and have to take more fuel. They're going to lose more time. And also they're going to have to get off pit road and execute the exit as well. And these guys are not all teammates at the front of the field. It's kind of a split group here at the front, whereas the group behind them is mostly sets of teammates. So the communication factor, the execution, oh, they're all fading to the bottom. KR, I think we're about to have another round of pit stops. This is going to be the money stop for the guys up front, I do believe.
Adam Kilday, Gabe Butler, Kacey Gilchrist, David Booth, they all hit pit road and are trying to get back up to speed just as fast as possible, because here comes the 04 Mark Mann. 5 laps to go in this race. If Mark Mann can stretch this fuel the way that it is shaping up, holy cow, because that is a long stretch on this fuel tank.
Oh, how clutch would it be, too, if he can get the victory and lock his way to the playoffs in a race like this. And this is exactly the situation he wanted. Here's the problem for Mark Mann. His teammate, Logan Helton, that is still a lap down, has been hung out. He's going to the back of the line, so he's going to be of no assistance here. And the 44 of Anthony English, he also needs to win, so he's not going to be afraid, I don't think, to move to the outside of the 04. Here they come to pit road.
On the pit road comes all of our drivers. 5 laps to go. Josh Ball in the one machine. He is out in front. He has a chance at winning this race because, well, maybe he saved enough fuel. I don't know.
I don't know either. This is wild. So many guys around them. A lap down. Josh Ball, he could use these guys in this front pack to save the next 4 laps. The question is has he saved enough to make it all the way to the end of the race? And now we watch as that front group comes back out on the racetrack. We're going to have to see where that second group blends when it comes to those guys. Here they come. We're going to wait and see how close they get to Mark Mann, who's already on the apron on the backstretch. So Mark Mann maybe in a good spot if Josh Ball has to pit, still win the race. That second group, they are closing in a hurry. I think they're going to blend with them here on the back straightaway, but up front, can Josh Ball make it 3 more laps on a tank of fuel? And I don't know, it's going to be really close.
Josh Ball, right now, last time he was on pit road was lap 80. We are working lap 98. We have 3 laps to go. If Josh Ball can hold on and stretch this fuel tank to the end of the race, he will come away and steal a win from several drivers who have championship hopes. But I don't think the one can make it. But I'm in the broadcast booth. The one is out there. He has some more information than I do. 2 laps to go. Josh Ball still not coming down pit road. Can he make this work?
He's got 5 miles to figure it out. Less than that now. It's closer to 4 miles. He's hitting the gas gauge. We've all tapped our gas gauge, get it to go up above E before. He's definitely doing that right about now. Oh man, this is getting so nerve-wracking. He's trying his best to save gas. He's trying really, really hard. Second group led by Mark Mann. You know, Mark's hoping this one truck doesn't have enough. But if he makes it to the white flag, there's no choice. If he doesn't pit this time, you know he's committing to try and keep it out there. He does not. Josh Ball is coming to pit road at the white flag.
Josh Ball hits pit road. Mark Mann in the 04 is going to inherit the race lead because Ball was not far enough ahead. Mark Mann in the 04, the 95 of Jim Mayer, side by side in the turn. Oh my goodness, the 44 turns the 04. Oh, the 95 out in front.
Oh, yeah, but here comes the second group. I think the second group's going to get a pretty decent run now that these guys are all out of shape. Now they take the white flag, and it goes for Jim Mayer in the 95 for Alliance, and notably his teammate Logan Helton's going to try to play some defense. Here comes Sanchez to the outside with the help of English and Matt Wagner. Helton tries to block. Sanchez goes higher. Top shelf 5'10". Bottom the 8 of Steven Miles. Mayer blocks to the outside of the wall. Oh my goodness, I think they're going to spin. They keep it together. Headed back for 3. It's guys in a must-win. English, Sanchez, and Mayer.
The 95 in a must-win situation and must start the next race because he will be at the bare minimum. Here he comes off of turn number 4. Checkered flag in the air. The 95 of Jim Mayer is going to win the race. And man, oh man, does this send shockwaves throughout our championship contenders.
I mean, it is a playoff walk-off for Jim Mayer. Alliance Motorsports ends up getting a win after all. Thought Mark Mann was going to get it done. Instead, Jim Mayer, he runs the race of his life. And with 2 races to go, the final hour, he gets the race win. Unbelievable for Jim Mayer.
He still has to start one more race, and there is only one more race to start. So, man, talk about cutting it close, but the 95 of Jim Mayer getting it done here tonight picks up the race win. OMG, because this was something we were looking at. This was something we were talking about, and he found a way to get it done. A former champion, and once again, this 95 finds a way to make it happen. Oh, all right, Dawson, I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and go through our finishing results here tonight. Jim Mayer, Richard Sanchez, Steven Miles, those are your podium finishing drivers. Anthony English in 4th, and rounding out your top 5 is Mark Mann.
Matt Wagner goes 6th, Cody Nagel 7th, Kevin Fries 8th, Sebastian Marin 9th, Zach Workman rounds out a topsy-turvy top 10.
11th goes to Vicente Guerrero, Les Levy in 12th, 13th, Zach Fritsch, 14th, Dave Hunt, and Sean McCara rounds out your top 15.
Josh Ball goes 16th tonight as I'm trying to get the results up for myself really quickly here. Hopefully I can get those going. There they are. Josh Ball goes 16th. Adam Kilday goes 17th. Gabe Butler 18th. Kacey Gilchrist 19th. Jimmy Reynolds rounds out your top 20.
Steve Karosik, Alex Green, David Booth, John Guerrero, and Nathan Warren make up your 21st through 25th spots.
Bubba Winningham finishes 26th. Eric Laurie 27th. Jeff Crosby Sr. 28th. Sean Stevens 29th. And David Overstreet rounds out the top 30.
Logan Helton, Jeff Crosby Jr., Peter DeBorgia, Richard Kuhn, and Dude Conrad round out the rest of our finishing order here tonight. But Jim Mayer in the 95 is our race winner. And let's see if we can pull him in and talk to the 95, because I'll tell you what, Jim Mayer, this guy, I mean, this guy here, Dawson, I don't know if you've talked to Jim Mayer, but Jim, he's a guy who says a couple things and then it is what it is. So Jim, you picked up the race win at a time that you needed to.
I am hurting.
So tell us about your race here tonight.
It's kind of nice when you're not battling for points. You know, I'm so far out of it that I could just come out here and, you know, race stress free, try to do my best to avoid some of the carnage, and got lucky enough to come out with a win. So I mean, I'll take it. I definitely needed it to have any chance at it. So.
All right, so not that this is official because I can't do math, but you picked up the win here tonight. If you start the race next week, you meet the minimum requirements, you have the race win, you are one of our championship 16 drivers.
I believe that is correct. I believe that's what needed to happen. So yeah, I think that was it. I think you're on the money with that. I think it might be 2 more. I'm not sure, but it might be next week. Next week might be the start I needed.
Well, I'll tell you what, buddy. If you make this work once again at the bare minimum, I'm gonna have to ask you how you're doing it, because I'm killing myself trying to do every lap of every race in my racing, and here you are, you show up like, it's fine, it's whatever, I'm gonna get the win.
Yeah, it's like I said, I mean coming in, stress free. I've new work schedule, so I'm missing some here and there. So it's no point in racing for points. So it's a little bit of luck tonight, a little bit of fuel mileage race. We don't get too many of those, but I do like those. We were lucky enough to come out with a little bit of a lead there and able to hang on to it for the win. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's luck. It's luck. It's a good team, and it's like I said, it's nice racing like stress free, just for fun. No emotions involved. Not getting mad about anything. It's a good way to end the night.
All right, man. Well, nice job. Shout outs, thank yous. Anything you need to say here tonight?
Of course, all the guys at Alliance right now. I know we got a little makeshift team together, but it's fun. It's relaxed. Huge shout out to Logan there. Obviously coming out of the pits and giving me that push. I know he had some bad luck there and was a couple laps down. We were trying to get him his laps back, but no luck for him. So he stuck with me, and I appreciate that. So huge shout out to him. Of course, Mark and Jimmy running with us tonight. Of course, all the guys at OP putting these things on, and you up in the booth putting on the show.
All right, Jim. One more question before we let you go.
Yep.
Will we see you at the green flag next week?
You will. I will be here next week.
Oh my goodness, you pulled it off. Well, hold on. We got to get to the green flag, but my
we gotta
goodness.
Get there. Barring any emergencies, I plan to be here.
All right, man. Well, nice job. Once again, congratulations, bud.
Yeah.
And nice job here tonight and for the season.
Thanks.
All right, that is the driver of the 95, Jim Mayer. But now let's move on to our second place finisher, and that is the 510 of Richard Sanchez. And Dawson, you have caught up with him.
Yeah, I have. Hey, Richard, it's the boys up in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, gentlemen, how's it going?
Oh, it's going pretty well, and I got to imagine you're feeling pretty good tonight. That's the run you needed, is a second place effort tonight. Obviously, you had a look at the win. I'm sure you wanted that to kind of take us through your race as a whole and how you're feeling about that effort.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I was surprised there. I did have to take a fast repair, and so I was worried, and I wanted to stay on the bottom and try to, if anything came up, avoid it if I could, But when you're stuck on the bottom, you can't make any positions up either. So you just take your chances when you can and when you have to.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what you did tonight. You ran a really solid race, and like I said, it's a run you needed. And going into next week, obviously, it's going to be a really stressful week for a lot of the guys near the cut line, and you're included in that group. I'm not sure where you're going to be here off the top of my head, but it's certainly going to be a little bit stressful for you next week. But what does this effort do for you going into next week for your mindset?
I guess it gives me a little bit of hope, but I'll just, try to get the best finish I can and let the chips fall where they may. So.
Oh, absolutely, and that's going to be a lot of guys next week, and definitely it's a step in the right direction for you. So with that second place finish, while we have you for a second, anybody you want to thank?
OP for sure, putting on the show. You guys up here in the booth, turn 3, and butt kicker. want to thank them also, and then all the teammates at Vendetta.
All right. Well, congrats on that second place effort. Certainly puts you in a great spot going into next week's regular season finale. Thanks for talking to us. Congrats on that. We'll see you next week.
Thank you, gentlemen. Have a good one.
All right, there you have it. That is Richard Sanchez, driver of the 510. But now it is time to move to our third and final step of the podium. That is the driver of the 8, and that is Steven Miles. Steven, you got your ears on, bud?
How you doing, man?
I'll tell you what, I'm doing just fine. Steven, you're gonna have to fill me in because I think this is one of the first times I've gotten to talk to you.
Yeah, that's sad to say. Yeah, this is the first time I made my podium this season.
All right, Steven. So tell me a little bit about yourself. Tell me a little bit about the 8, and then let me know what it took to be here tonight.
Oh man, I don't have all day to tell you about myself.
I got time.
I race every day except for Sundays in a bunch of leagues, man. And I started with OP on Saturdays, and I thank Peter DeBoer for bringing me in this league, man. And sponsoring me this fast extra life Chevy, man. It means a lot to me, and it's a lot harder over here, man. I got wins over there Saturdays, but I mean, on Mondays, man, they're on a whole different scale right now. It's hard to make a move up front. Everybody's 3 wide. You can't really do nothing but sit there and wait or get caught up in a wreck or whatever. But tonight, it was about doing my same strategy, man. I came close to a bunch of top 5 finishes or whatever, but I had bad luck. And tonight, just try to stretch the field as far as I could to see if I can make it. And when I seen Mark Mann go down there, I was like, that's a good person to follow. So I just followed him. And I mean, towards the end, it paid off good. I wish I would have known who was a lap down and who wasn't. And being by myself with no teammates, I was just caught out there without no partner or whatever. But it's all good. I was still able to push somebody to second.
All right, Steven. Well, this 8 machine comes away with a podium finish here tonight. One more race in the regular season, and then we kick off what we call the playoffs. What are your plans here? We know you can't win the championship, but are you going to try and win some of the races here and upset our playoff contenders?
Yeah, that's pretty much all I can do, man. Being a rookie in this league, I don't want to step on nobody's toes or mess nobody up by wrecking them, but I mean, I'll be happy to spoil them and take a win from them. So yeah, that's all I can do for the rest of the season. Then just get ready for next season. Really, I just had to fill it out, man. It's just different competitors over here that just stepped it up, man. So I just gotta get better, and hopefully I can prove myself towards the end of the season this season.
All right, man. One more time, shout outs, thank yous that you'd like to give for this third and final step of the podium here tonight.
Appreciate Peter DeBoer for sponsoring me and making this fast paint scheme extra life. And appreciate you for broadcasting the league and the league owners for running this incredible league. You know, I think it's going to be around for a long time since it already has been. And appreciate my girlfriend and God, and that'll be it.
All right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Steven Miles, driver of the number 8, final step of the podium here tonight. Nice job, Steven. So Dawson, that's gonna wrap it up for our post-race show.
Yeah, I think it is. What a great race it was. Man, this was the first time this season we've had a race come down to fuel mileage, and boy, how fun was that? And I can only imagine what's going to happen next week. One race to go for guys to lock in the playoffs. I cannot wait. And wow, man, huge congrats to Jim Mayer. That's really cool to see him get a win this late in the season.
Yeah, he is the definition of last minute, last chance. He has to just start next week to lock himself in to the playoffs. So yeah, a bit of some a bit of the pressure is off, other than just making sure you can start the race.
Absolutely. I mean, once he starts and gets in, it's going to be a huge relief for him. Really, what a big moment for him it is to lock his way in this late, and it could be somebody else next week. I can't wait.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for us here tonight. Thank you very much for joining us. On behalf of everyone here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, I have been your host. My name is KR Stolfus. Dawson Wise has been the one that you all wanted to hear, not me. So until next Monday night, y'all stay safe, and we'll see you next time.